So today sucked, and we're here to tell you all about it. I'm Triss Leder.
And I'm Forrest Leder, and we're talking life, health, and sanity, and finding sunshine in the rain.
So, Forrest, are you okay?
I mean, do you mean like physically okay, or...
I don't know.
I mean, physically, I guess I'm okay. I'm not actively dying right now.
I'm going to let you in on a secret.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not okay.
I'm not really okay either.
Yeah? What's that about?
Life's hard.
It really is. We were talking last night with our daughter, who's 8. And I had this realization, I guess we had this realization, that we're not okay. It is the middle of October 2020 currently, and we are 6 odd months into this ridiculous pandemic that is everywhere. And it's really taking a toll.
It's wearing us down.
Yeah.
You know, it's too much 2020.
Yeah, it is too much 2020.
Yeah, I just think we talked yesterday. Maybe we should have talked on here, but it was a good conversation for us.
Yeah.
Probably important that we do just face-to-face couple time. But, realizing that things have just been, it's like adding a gram weight, a little bit at a time. And you don't, like a gram, it's hardly noticeable. Like, it's there, but it doesn't make a difference by itself.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get another one, and another one, and another one. Or like it's a bucket of water or an empty bucket that like water is dripping in, and not a single drop doesn't matter.
Right.
But they add up over time so that the bucket is full and overflowing, and a full bucket is heavy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like the boiling frog thing that you don't... It's like it's the one thing. You go, well, what's the big deal about the one thing? Well, it's not the one thing, though. It's the one thing and then the iceberg underneath it of crap. How many more metaphors can we shove in here?
I was just thinking, like, I wonder if we can just make a thing of, well, it's sort of like the...
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and I want to be really, really clear, too, that we are insanely blessed and insanely privileged at this point to not have massive financial strain during this time. And the 4 of us in this household, anyway, are relatively healthy. And, there are a lot of people who are hurting in other ways and in a lot harsher ways than we are. But Forrest was saying last, and so we're very grateful for that. Is my point. But Forrest was saying last night something that I thought was really interesting. I don't know, an article or a blog or something that you'd read on the topic of toxic positivity.
Yeah, just that idea that you're expected to find the positive in everything, like that it's not okay to experience those less comfortable emotions, and you're constantly having to find the silver lining, or you have to look on the bright side, or any of those kind of phrases that downplay those hard feelings that you have that you're going through.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, that it creates an environment where it's not okay to be not okay.
Right.
And that's what makes it toxic. Yeah,
well, I mean, as somebody who has struggled with I struggle with lots of things, but in all seriousness, as somebody who's struggled with depression and stuff in the past, that thing of just like, well, you have so much to be thankful for. You have there are so many other people who have it so much worse off than you. As somebody in my 30s, I'm sure a lot of you can identify with your parents as kids. You go, well, finish your food. Think of the starving children in Africa. That's not helpful. Are there people who are in different ways sort of quote unquote worse off than we are? Sure. That's always going to be a thing. But to use that to sort of dismiss the things that you're experiencing and that you experience on a very real level, I think, that's not helpful. If we want to get to the point of realizing that things are pretty okay and all that, starting with, well, your life doesn't suck that bad, cheer up. Nowhere in the history of speech has cheer up ever helped anything. It's like telling your wife to calm down. It's a recipe for, yeah, yep, he knows. But yeah, and there's the cat. Yep, always announcing their presence. So yeah, I think that was kind of the thing that I was thinking about when we sat down to record tonight, and the conversation that we had together and that we had with our daughter, and reassuring her, like, it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah. And trying to figure out how to process that. Mm-hmm. What does that mean? What does that mean that it's okay to not be okay? And then how do you go forward from there? Like how can you find rest in that place? How do you, and I'm not saying we have any answers on this. We're exploring it.
Well, and I mean, I suppose it's probably different for different people that you talk to. For me, a lot of that unrest when I'm not okay comes from, well, I should be. Mm-hmm. And so that pressure of, I'm feeling these things that are, they're very real and in a lot of ways very justified, especially in our current, global state, so I'm feeling these things that are big and understandable and whatever else, but then I shouldn't be. Like I should be able to go, well, things aren't really that bad, and kind of, compartmentalize and box it up and throw it away. And so the real sort of knife twist in all of that is I'm feeling these things that are, could have the potential, if you don't work through them healthily, to damage you. You add that weight of, but I also shouldn't be feeling them at all. Like, forget dealing with them healthily. I shouldn't have them at all.
Yeah, feeling guilty for having, those feelings of sadness or anger or frustration or whatever.
Yeah.
That to add to that, feeling guilty because you feel that way.
Yeah, and I think that we came to a kind of a discovery tonight, that if you kind of squash those things down, and I guess this isn't a super new revelation, but if you kind of squash those things down, they come out one way or another. Mm-hmm. And even for us, who I feel like we're relatively self-aware, the two of us, we talk about frickin' everything. Mm-hmm. And we're not a stranger to discussing our feelings. We had an incident tonight with Forrest, and I know I do it too, but this is just the one that we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That I think we've said before, we are a Bills household.
Go Bills.
They, if you're listening to this sometime in the future, look it up. They had a rough game tonight. Very, very rough game. And I came home, I was about halfway through that game, I think, from, my son was at gymnastics. And so we came home to have dinner, and I walked into just this like storm cloud tempest atmosphere in my house. Because Forrest was so PO'd, like emotionally upset that the team was playing so poorly. And I'm going, I'm sorry, what? It's one game, it's fine. It's a football game. Like, it's fun, I get it. But what is, like, you don't get that emotional about most things, ever. And after we had some time to sort of calm it all down and work through it and talk through it and whatnot, you know, in this situation that we are all collectively in, that is just this ongoing frustration and, sadness causing situation, stress causing everything.
Just constant
it's just
pressure
all the time.
Squeezing on you.
Well, people don't human like that, of being angry and upset all the time at this sort of ambiguous, non-tangible thing. And so it comes out in different ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as we were talking about it, I see that. I saw something in my daughter. I saw something in my son, all in the last 24 hours that I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. That's not what it was about.
Yeah. We're all just experiencing this dysphoria.
Yeah.
This kind of feeling of longing for things to be like they were, of being able to give hugs.
Yeah.
And get hugs. And to be able to see friends at school or friends at work. And
or go to a movie
or shake somebody's hand.
Yeah.
See somebody's face when they're smiling.
Smile at a stranger as you might. Maybe that's not a thing other people do, but that's something we grew up doing.
Yeah, we're from Montana.
Yeah, so you smile at people when you walk past them on the street. And you can usually still tell because there's an eye thing that happens when you smile, but it's still weird to not see people's faces.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it is. It's so isolating. And even for you, it's been nothing short of torture. As the extrovert, you need people, and you go you've done, honestly, really very well for this amount of time. And I know you're going bananas, and we try to get you human contact.
Yeah.
But even for me, Forrest can attest to this, I'm an introvert. I like people in very small doses, and I very much like my bedroom when it's quiet and just me in it. And I'm still like, could I go out, please? Could I go be in a crowd of people? I hate crowds. I hate people. I'm mostly joking, but like a big throng of people gives me anxiety. And even so, like the idea of like going to like the Western Montana Fair or something.
Mm-hmm.
How fun does that sound right now? Seriously.
Yeah.
And we can't. And I think that I think if it was permanent, then we would all be adjusting and grieving and moving forward. But because in theory, none of this is permanent, that at some point in the next, I don't know, year, whatever, we should be getting back to relative normal. And so we're all just like in this limbo. We're all stuck in this like in-between state of can't really commit to anything, don't know what we're doing, can't. The teacher who I work as a paraeducator with, she's been doing her like preparations and lesson planning and all that stuff like 2 weeks at a time because she doesn't want to do all the work to do it remotely And then we go back to school, and then all that work has been wasted. And that's an exhausting place to be, to just be in the middle of, we don't really know, and we can't really do anything, and we can't plan because we don't know what it's going to look like 2 months from now or 6 months from now. That's exhausting, and it's terrifying.
Yeah. And I think for us, we realized that, for us, our spiritual life is important. I think that spirituality, whatever that looks like for you or for anybody, can be different, but I think it's an important part of people's life. It takes different, shape. But,
Yeah.
But for us, we're Christians, and just realizing, here we are, and we're just like carrying all these burdens, and we're not investing in our spiritual health. And that was a good part of our conversation, I think, yesterday too, is going, we're looking at our mental health kind of things and our emotions. We're looking at our physical health and, trying to get more fit and stuff, be more healthy, get more active, lose some weight. But realizing that because of all the things going on, that our spiritual life has also been getting neglected in how we're handling and coping, and going, it's time to get plugged in.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. It's that thing of taking care of the important parts of you that make you better. The things that you believe in, the things that you hold on to, the things that make you look at yourself and how you can sort of on a deeper level be a better you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you neglect that part, whatever it is, for us, it's our faith. But I know there are many, many, many different things that do that for individuals. If you neglect that part, then you're losing, essentially a part of you that is a big part of what makes you the well-rounded and more sort of positive moving forward person.
Yeah.
Because it's that hope for the future, that things will move forward and get better, and that you as a person will continue to get better. And I think you're right. I think we've definitely sort of set that down a bit, but we kind of have set everything down.
Yeah.
We've just kind of been coasting because everything is too much. Everything is too much right now.
Even the things that fill us up,
mm-hmm.
the things that are our, recharging kinds of activities feel like too much because we're carrying, so many buckets of stress from everything
mm-hmm.
going on.
Yeah.
To try and figure out how to put them down is hard.
Yeah.
And I think you're right with that idea of, looking at that hope for a better tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. As you continually, you hope for a better tomorrow, and then your today is hard, and you hope for a better tomorrow, and you get there, and it's hard. And so you get to it's this constant state of, having an expectation and then having a disappointment to go with it because you want things to be different.
Right.
And so I think that even harkens back to our previous conversation of looking at expectations and stuff and hoping for a better tomorrow. What does that mean? What do we want our actual tomorrow to be like, and how could it be better in a way that's reachable
right.
for us right now in the situation we're in, not expecting that the whole situation's going to change and like we can just sit around waiting for everything. You know, the COVID pandemic is not going to evaporate tomorrow,
Right.
and all the virus is gone. And so we can all go back to, you know, happy-go-lucky. It's going to be a process.
Yeah.
And you know, who knows? But the realizing like this is our life right now, and how do we make our life in this situation better?
Yeah.
That's, I think, going to be that place where we're working right now, is trying to let go of hoping that it's going to be done, and instead going, where am I now?
And, you know, I think that we can have a tendency to really undervalue the what's the word I'm trying to say? It's getting late and my brain is going away.
Importance, impact.
Yeah, we can really underplay the massive value of a good cry. Of unloading emotion onto somebody or somebody's who care about you. And just letting it out. I'm serious, honest to goodness, Forrest and I and our daughter, the three of us had a good cry last night because we needed it.
Yeah, it's like turning on the release valve.
Yeah, exactly. And so, you know, I think it's, yes, looking for how what is reasonable for tomorrow to look like that will help or will make us feel better or whatever. But while I don't recommend anybody wallow in anything by any means, like we tell our 6-year-old, feel your feelings, man. Your feelings are valid. They're just feelings. They don't say something about you.
Yeah.
Feel your feelings and feel them through, and it's okay.
Work through it.
Yeah, it's okay.
You know, and that's, I think these conversations have been great, you know, because we don't go into them going, you know, no, it's not okay to feel these emotions. Instead, we go, what do we do with them?
Yeah. Emotions happen regardless. It's how you react to them.
Yeah.
That is the challenge, I think. And sometimes reacting to the best thing you can do is just accept that they are.
Yeah. So today, it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
And to take time to feel that. And I think with that, then the sunshine that we look for is that it's not just okay, but it's valuable and good to feel those things and process through it. So feel those feelings and let off the pressure and find those places where you can say, I'm okay, even if I'm not okay.
Yeah. Or maybe we're nuts. We'd love to know what you guys think, for sure.
Yep.
Because we're just a couple of idiots trying to figure some things out. And we love the wisdom from all of you. So have you got it all figured out? Do you know how to ride out this pandemic with, 20 more pounds of muscle and learned 2 languages? And I'm joking all the way around. But regardless, we love hearing from you. So leave us a comment or come yell at us on Twitter. I'm at Triss_Joy.
And I'm at Fearless Leader.
And we'd love to hear from you. But we've been rambling on for far too long tonight. But we had some things we needed to say, I guess.
Yes, we do. Yeah, it's been great. And we can't wait to talk to you again. But until then, see you next time, suckers.